What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. The team news is in for John Kennedy's first game in interim charge. The news is that there's two changes from the team that faced Ross County last weekend. Out go Greg Taylor and Tom Rogic, and in come Diego Laxalt and Patrick Klimala. Obviously, Greg Taylor is forced out with injury, and Laxalt replaces him. And up top, it's Klimala. So the team in full is as follows. Scott Bain in goals. John Joe Kenny at right back, Welsh and Ayer at centre half, Diego Laxalt is at left back. In midfield, it looks like John Kennedy has chosen to keep the diamond. Scott Brown at the base, Ryan Christie and Callum McGregor in front of him, and then Turnbull at the tip. And obviously, up top, it looks like it's going to be Odsonne Edouard alongside Patrick Klimala. The surprise is obviously that Patrick Klimala does start up front. I thought he might start with Griffiths, John Kennedy, but I think the inclusion of Klimala tells you everything about where Ajeti and Griffiths are at just now. In terms of, for Ajeti, it's probably his performances. He did get a short one in the team, and he was hot and cold, mostly cold. And obviously Griffiths has been in and out with his fitness issues and sharpness as well. So both of them stay on the bench, and Klimala gets a nod. We know what we're going to get from Patrick Klimala. Plenty of endeavour, plenty of running. He grafts, he puts in 100% effort, and hopefully we can get some quality from him today as well. I don't know how the partnership between him and Edouard will look. It hasn't happened. They haven't played together very often at all this season, so that is something that we're going to need to see how it goes. I mean, Edouard, as I say, I've always said he brings the best out of whoever he's playing up there beside. So hopefully that can work for Klimala today. As I say, Laxalt comes in and replaces Taylor. Hopefully, I mean, Greg Taylor has been playing well. Hopefully, Laxalt can bring a decent level of performance. His final ball has obviously been really, really poor. His whole time at the club, really. Those first 5 or 6 games were really good, but he's really came off the boil. He's been sitting out for weeks watching Greg Taylor, and I know his time at Celtic is probably coming to an end at the end of the season, but hopefully he can bring some sort of decent level of performance today, because I think we're going to need that. The bench for Celtic today is Hazard. A lot of talk about Barkas, by the way. He's not even in the squad, so I don't know if he's injured. He wasn't in the squad last weekend either. So Hazard is on the bench. Duffy, Griffiths, Ajeti, Soro, El Yunusi, Henderson, Montgomery and Ralston. So Montgomery is obviously a youth player getting a chance to be in the bench today. I wouldn't think we'll see him, but he is on there. Henderson again on the bench. John Kennedy's obviously worked with some of these young players through his time at Celtic and coaching at different levels. So it's going to be interesting to see how much game time they get between now and the end of the season, because obviously Stephen Welsh is getting a run in the team now, and rightly so, because he's definitely the best option to play beside Ayer at centre half, with Duffy being the only other first choice centre half, first team centre half, certainly no first choice. So hopefully some of the young players do get a bit of game time when John Kennedy sees fit between now and the end of the season. It's going to be really interesting today to see how different the team approaches it. Is there going to be any tactical tweaks? John Kennedy talked about that yesterday in his press conference, that he would make some slight changes. I think more patience probably in an attacking sense. There's been times this season where we have looked a bit rash. Shooting for distance was a big thing under Neil Lennon. Ryan Christie's obviously been criticised quite a lot this season for his shooting from distance, and it seemed like any time we had a chance on goal for 20, 25, 30 yards, we would often take on the shot. If John Kennedy likes a more patient build-up, a more possession-based approach, then we might go back to seeing that sort of build-up, maybe the way you would say Brendan Rodgers' team was at times. And I know towards the end of the Rodgers era, it wasn't always scintillating to watch. Some games where teams were defending deep and we were just happy to keep the ball, it was boring at times. So it's going to be interesting to see where John Kennedy lies. If you put Brendan Rodgers' patient possession style at one end and Neil Lennon's more direct at the other, it's going to be interesting to see what he wants the team to do. And other than that, as I said yesterday, I want to see a better energy for the team. I want to see a motivated Celtic team, guys with nothing to play for, but hopefully a point to prove, hopefully refreshed and rejuvenated. Now that there has been a slight change and Neil Lennon has left, that we'll only see that as time goes, and we know that these 8 games don't really mean anything. But as I keep saying, I've been saying for weeks now, these guys are still getting paid a fortune. They're still playing for Celtic, and they've got to go out there and perform. In terms of stats coming into this one, set pieces have been a huge headache for us all season. And it's interesting that reading the stats coming into this one, Aberdeen have scored 47% of their goals in the league from set pieces. So that's almost half of Aberdeen's goals have come from set piece situations. That's staggering. And on the flip side, we've conceded 61% of our goals from set pieces. So that's going to be a huge area for us today defensively. I don't know if John Kennedy's had enough time to really affect that. We've heard about zonal marking and the criticisms of us at corners and free kicks, and we've conceded far too many goals that way. So we're going to have to be concentrated today. There's no two ways about that. Aberdeen had big spells in that game 10 days ago, particularly in the second half, where we really had to defend our box. And Welsh and Ayer, who are the partnership in centre half again today, they were really, really good in that second half. So hopefully they are the same today. Hopefully they don't need to do as much defending though. But as I say, set pieces with Aberdeen scoring half of their goals and us conceding more than half of ours for set pieces is going to be a big area for us today if we were to keep a clean sheet and hopefully go and win the game. That's it. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back after the game for a live full-time reaction. Join us for that. Today we've got Declan and Daniel, so don't miss it. Enjoy the game wherever you're watching it around the world, and we'll see you after full-time. Cheers.